is officially being recorded. Welcome to our Friday, June 24th regional call. We are definitely in to have the amazing Nikki Goss, who's going to be sharing her principles of self-discipline. She's going to be giving us her top 5 things that she attributes from her going from a brand new coach to 6-star Diamond Elite in 1 year. Woo! I'm so excited. But before we pass the mic to our guest of honor, I'd like to introduce our Southeast Region Associate Manager, Robbie Carter, to share a few announcements in June. Craig is out of the office. He's out sharpening his saw and renewing with his family somewhere in the mountains with no Wi-Fi. So without further ado, Robbie for the announcements.
Hey guys, we have some awesome announcements for this month. Again, guys, Summit is only 33 days away. I am super pumped up about it. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am, taking your teams down there, getting rejuvenated, feeling fired up to work the business again. So 33 days away, super excited about that. We got the Month of Diamonds promotion, which is FAQ 1857. For those who personally sponsor a diamond, or if you hit diamond yourself this month, you get the Month of Diamonds t-shirt from Carl. I'm sure you'll be getting a high five from Carl as well, maybe a picture with him as well. So be pushing for that as well. Another little incentive we can be pushing for our teams as well. Guys, for those who hit Success Club 5 and 10 this month, you're going to be hearing from bestseller, author, motivational speaker, and business consultant, Marcus Buckingham, guys. This guy is solid. Guys, people pay big bucks for this guy to come and to speak to their businesses as well. So, in the words of Craig Collier, he's British, he's good looking, and he has white teeth. So you're not going to want to miss out on that, guys. So that if you want to know a little bit more about that, FAQ 3687. And those are our announcements for June. Keyshawn, back to you.
Thank you so much, Robbie. We have a lot of great things going on in June, leaders. Be sure to check out those FAQs. All right, it's the moment we've been waiting for. As they say in boxing, it's time for the main event. And our guest of honor today is none other than the amazing Nikki Goss. Now, Nikki lives in Woodbridge, Virginia with her Navy husband, John, and their 3 kids, all under the age of 6. Nikki started her coaching journey in February of 2015, and since then, she and her team, Girl Strong, have really made a mark in their community and a huge dent in ending the trend of obesity. Nikki is a 6-star Diamond Success Club 5 All-Star, and she ended the year 2015 leading an elite team in their first 10 months. I'm so pumped to have her on. She's a dear friend, and I'm excited to hear what her top 5 things are that she attributes from going to a new coach to 6-star Diamond Elite in 1 year. So without further ado, Nikki Goss, are you with us, and are you ready to kick some booty?
I woke up going through this in my head, literally woke up out of bed and I was like, and another thing. I'm so pumped up, and I'm just honored to be able to talk to you guys and just share a little bit with you. I really hope that you guys take something away from this to help yourselves and your teams. So just a little bit about me, if you don't know my story. So thank you, Keyshawn, for that amazing intro. I love you to death, girl. You know that. She's pulled me through the toughest of tough times. Grateful for you every day. So yeah, and come back out. We need to go back out, okay? So I started in February of 2015. So my husband, John, and I, we actually both grew up in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. Go Steelers! They're my religion. And we were going home. We went home for Valentine's Day, and my amazing mother-in-law said, let me watch all 3 kids. And at that time, they were 5, 4, and about 8 months. And she was like, go out and you guys can go out and get a hotel room in Pittsburgh and have a night on the town. And we hadn't been out for 6 years, right? We started having kids. We didn't have any family down here in the DC area. We just were here for jobs. So we had an amazing weekend. And on the way home, we were like, we really have a blessed life. We have a wonderful life. And we want to be around for a very long time. It was just one of those moments where it kind of broke you out of the rat race every day, and you got to step back and really, appreciate each other again and our family and the kids, because we had time away. And we just realized, what we had that, we were just kind of missing out on. And so the first thing we both said was our health and fitness. So we were both like had completely lost ourselves after the kids and, blamed them, right? They became our excuse. I don't have any time to do it because they got kids. And my neighbor was a Beachbody coach. And I'll give you guys this little tidbit too. It speaks to consistency. So was my cousin. And my cousin, I'd actually spoke to her about T25 multiple times, but she wasn't consistent about it, wasn't sure she was doing it anymore. And when my light came on, when my taxi light came on driving on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and I said, I want to get healthy, I thought of my coach, Sandy. And I texted her in the car and said, hey, I don't know what that stuff is that you do, but I want it, and so does John. And right there, we got 2 challenge packs, 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme, and we were on it. So when we ordered, and when we got it, I told my husband, I was like, do not tell anyone that we ordered this, okay? I just wasn't sure, right? It was like, here we go, infomercial stuff, but I couldn't get it together myself. Like, I knew I needed outside help, so I was willing to try. And then 2 weeks in, I had lost the weight that I wanted to lose. My husband was down 10 pounds. It was gold, and I knew it was gold. So I went from don't tell anyone about this to a full-blown coach within 2 weeks. And that was it. It was my belief. So a little about me, I am an emerald. If you're a person who follows the gems, I'm a very strong emerald. Followed up with a ruby sapphire, and those are really close to each other. And the color code, I'm red. Okay, so the way I come across, that's why. All right, it's just me. Pearls beware, right? So these are the 5 things that I did, and this is cool. I talked about. I told this to my team on a call probably about a month ago, but I'm going to give you guys something more that I didn't even tell you before. I'm going to change some of this stuff, because I think that what I did starting in February 2015 and how I do it now is different. I think something has changed, and I think that I would be ignorant if I was just oh, it's still the same. This is exactly how you do it. But they're evolution. It's an evolution of the same things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down those 5, and then I'm going to talk about, so here's where I see the shift, and this is where I see the change, and this is what I'm doing about it, okay? So you're going to have these basic principles, and then how I've kind of changed them and adapted them, if that makes sense to you guys. All right, so the first thing I did, I was a product of the products, right? First and foremost, that's how I started in this. And when I was that, I felt better, right? I had a ton of energy. I didn't have a problem talking to people about everything because I worked full time, right, guys? So before this, I was, oh my God, in my past life, I worked for the Department of Defense for 11 years. I was a counterterrorism analyst. So I was basically a shut-in, right? Didn't even see the sunshine. No windows in the office. So when I went to work and I was changing, people were talking to me about it. They saw it. They were like, what's going on? So it was so simple to start conversations because it was right out there, right in front of people. They could see that change happening. So, and I loved it, right? It was my first time through it. And here's the thing, you can always have that love with a program if you just keep finding new programs that you love. And I'll talk about this a little bit later too. So I did that. Product of the product, number 1. Number 2, posted 3 times a day, right? So everyone came out and they're like, here's this Power of Threes tracker. Man, I took that and ran with it. Someone said this worked, so I did it. I'm an emerald, right? So systems. There was a system there. I followed it. So they said post 3 times a day. Easy, right? Because I was so enthusiastic about what was happening in my life. I could have been live all day long and talking about it because I was actually living through everything. I had a ton of stuff to talk about, right? I learned how to chop an onion. Oh, I never knew how to do that. I didn't cook before, right? It's funny how when we think about who we were in the beginning, I had to Google that. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't learn it any time in my life. So when you think about those little things, just talking about those little things, those little victories, it makes people smile, right? So I had no problem posting 3 times a day, and I've done it every single day since I was a coach. And now I've kind of expanded it onto more platforms, and I'm still there. You can't go away. You just can't. I think Coca-Cola is the most known brand in the world, and they still pay how many millions of dollars to run an ad in the Super Bowl at halftime in their Coke. So if you think you can go away for one day on social media, think again. You cannot. You must be there constantly. Find a way to do it. If you can't go, like, fly by the seat of your pants, schedule your posts. Pick the 5 things you want to talk about, create the content in advance, and then post it. You have a like page or business page, you can actually write them and then say, hey, publish later at this date. You don't even have to be there. There's ways around everything, okay? You have to be present. That was number 2. Number 3, I invited everyone, okay? And this really just came from that fire in my gut, and this is probably the biggest thing that has changed, has like a before and after. This was that fire in my gut. Like this was like I found oil and I need everyone to come over here and help me get it out. Like that was the fire. It wasn't like, you want to join? I was like, oh my God, this program really works. Like this stuff really works, right? These infomercials that, everyone thinks they're taking. No, it really works. Like you have to try this. I invited everyone. I went to Facebook. I'm a Facebook person. So I went to Facebook. I looked at my friends and I went alphabetically and I invited everyone. And I did not, and I will never send a generic copy pasted message ever. You do that and you'll set yourself back 3 months because you've all got one. I know you've all got one from somebody who does some type of MLM. I've got ones where they still have the quotes at the beginning and the end, right? They copied and pasted it from somebody, didn't even think enough to take off the quotes before they sent it to me. Think I'm ever going to talk to them or use their services? Never. You may be working in mass, but that person on the other end is only one person. So if you don't have enough time to slow down and think about them for a minute, then rearrange your priorities. It's going to take longer, right? Because you can lose somebody on the other end so quickly because you're trying to do things in mass. Slow down. Yeah. I would actually go, I would look at what that person was doing and look at their profile, and I would talk about them. I would say things about them throughout the message. I would talk about points in our life where we related, right? Like, so people who I was, I did cheerleading with, I would talk about, do you remember when we would like stunt and things like that? They knew that message couldn't have come from anyone but me, right? And that's how all of your messages should be. If they could be sent to any more than one person, then you didn't put enough thought. Go further. It's going to take more effort than you think to do this, but it's worth it. Okay? It's not easy. That's why not everyone does it, and that's why not everybody makes it. But if you make that mental commitment to, I'm going to do this for the person on the other end, I'm going to care enough about them to take the time to think about them for 30 seconds, right? Reminisce, have some great memories, share a laugh, right? Your friends for a reason on Facebook. So there's something that you had in your life together that was a positive experience. Harken back on that. Talk about that. Like, how often in the day do you get complimented by people? Do they send you a message where they talk about something that you guys did in the past that makes you smile? It just doesn't happen often, right? It's the copy and pasted message with the quotes that are still on the beginning and end. Be different. Be the one that stands out to them. Even if they're not interested, they're going to be like, dang, she at least took the time to think about me, right? It changes their impression of you. So even if they're not interested, their friend who might be interested, they'll be like, hey, listen, I'd like to refer you over to my friend, and this is why, because you made a solid impression on them. Everything that you do has a ripple effect. Everything. And you'll see it, it'll come out later, but remember that, okay? Remember how that could come across on the other end and how it could impact you, okay? And as long as you're putting people first and they're, them first, like caring about them, it'll work out. If you're just trying to go in mass, it's not. So keep that in mind. All right, so that was how I did inviting in the beginning. Oh, and I also evolved, right, because I did not have a lot of time. I worked at least 8.5 hours a day as a counterterrorism analyst. I worked in a place where I did not have access to my cell phone. As soon as we walked in the building, it had to go into a locker, and I didn't see it again until the end of the day. And I had very rare access to like the internet. We were on a different classified system, right? So that took out 8.5 hours of my day. So when I would invite is when I got my cell phone, left the building, and had to walk a half a mile to my car, I would do voice memos. I would get on Facebook and do voice memo. Hey, Alicia, how are you doing? I just wanted to check in. How are you doing? How's the girls? How's Ryan? How's life been? What's going on? Hey, I just wanted to talk to you and see if you might be interested in joining one of my online fitness accountability groups, girl. Like, you were an amazing cheer captain. I love you to death. I just thought about you. You popped into my head today. I hope you're having a good day. If you aren't interested, that's totally fine, but I want to talk to you. Let me know how you're doing. Done. Invite. 10 seconds. And then I would do that over and over as I walked to my car. That's how I got it done. I didn't have an hour. Like, I do coaching full time now. Like, thank God, got, blessed enough to be able to resign in August of last year. But it's the in-between times, guys. It's the in-between times. It's never and I've heard this before and I almost agree with it. Like, I think I was more productive when I had less time. I do. You make it happen, and you know what you do? You focus on the vital things that have to happen. I knew I had to get those invites out. I knew I had to talk to people. So that was the first thing that happened when I stepped foot out of that building at the end of the day. And I found the way to do it as quickly as I can and as personally as I could too. And that was voice memo. You can do things so fast on voice memo. Use it, utilize it. Oh, and P.S., there is no copying and pasting when you send a voice memo. Okay? So everyone knows you're speaking exactly to them, right? You actually went out of your way and you're talking directly to them, right? So I love it for multiple reasons. I use it a lot. I use it when answering my coaches, right? I really use it for everything. Use the voice memo function. All right, number 4, I ran my own challenge groups every single month, and my challenge groups have evolved and changed so much. I'll talk to you about that. I started my own team page immediately. So you know how we have like 1 million groups on Facebook and it shows all of them in the order that we join them, right? So it's, if you look at mine, it's my upline coaches page, my uplines coaches page, and then mine. That's how fast. I took responsibility for my team and for my business from the beginning, from day one. Buck stopped here, right here. If I like what's happening, great. If I don't, I look to me. Okay? And this is like I think this is one of my greatest attributes. It can also be tough. I have to monitor it, right? Because you can only take people so far. So when I look at what's happening, and if I don't like what I'm seeing, then I look and I reflect on myself and I say, did I give my team the skills, the knowledge, and the wherewithal to be able to navigate around this? Have I taught them better? And if I haven't, it's my fault. If I have, then I've done what I can do, and you can only do so much for people. Because that, for me, can be the weight of the world. And I had a wonderful opportunity. I thank Craig. He introduced me to Kim Carver when he was out here. He was doing the four vital behaviors training for us. And I was having a really rough time. And he was the one who pointed out to me, he's like, you got to remember that you can only take so much responsibility. You must take it, but then you must be able to also leave it. And finding that balance for me was very difficult. But the first thing, if someone's doing something that like isn't the best way for them to be able to help more people, the first question you have to ask is, have I given them the skills that they should know better? And if not, the problem is you. Okay? I honestly default to the problem is me until I can prove myself wrong. And that's how I grow. So I just keep going back. Buck stops here. It's my business. All right? So I look at it. I look at my team. So the creation of the page from the beginning. And even if you're talking to yourself, I don't care. What would you post in there, right? If you were a coach, what do you like to see from your upline and your uplines page if you have one? If not, if you had an upline, what would you like to see? Start posting that. Start doing the motions and becoming used to what a leader does. Just do it. Start doing it, right? You command whatever presence that you give off. If you come off as a strong leader, you are one, right? If you're a person who doesn't do anything, then that's what you are, right? You're exactly who you choose to be. and especially in this business, which is pretty flippin' amazing. That doesn't really happen often, right? So that was number 4, my own challenge groups, which have changed. So when I first started to do challenge groups, I would just have everybody in there that was like doing the program. They would go into the challenge group, go through it that time, and then they would go into a veterans group that ran itself. All right, so I would make like a banner that would be like on Monday, you know, post this like motivational quote, or, you know, Wednesday, how much water intake did you have? I've changed that, so I'll talk about that later. But I always ran my own challenge group, even if I didn't have anybody in it. Still ran it. How would I run it, right? If I was on the other end, how would I want to be engaged? Like, you gotta do it, right? And then you can work out the kinks. It's even better when you can do it when no one's watching. Dang, then whenever you like flop, you're like, oh cool, no one saw that, right? Better to trip when you're alone. Number five, God, personal development. Changed my life. Personal development has probably been my biggest evolution over the past year. Keyshawn can definitely vouch for me on that. Guys, if you're not doing it, I have no idea how you're still here. I give you credit for still being here. That is how important it is. If you're still hanging on and you're not doing personal development, you're a strong, strong person. That is how important it is. And now take that and think how much more incredible you'd be if you were actually doing it. All right. I thought this is me like probably like 3 years ago. I was like, all that stuff is for crazy people. Okay. Right. So that was just my own insecurity because I totally needed it. So I did not come into this like a big believer in personal development. Everyone's like, read this, you know, Jensen Sarah book. I was like, all right, fine. You know, but sure, I'll read it. I just want to lose weight. That's how I started. I read it, and like, I'll be honest, I didn't get through that whole book. I'm just going to be honest. Like, it just didn't jive with me. It's cool. I'm awesome. I know that. All right. It just didn't jive with me. And here's where like personal development was my big evolution. Okay. So it could have just been like, all right, well, whatever, this doesn't work, because I hear that book a lot. But I tried another one, right? So then I tried The Compound Effect, and I was an Emerald personality, and that book was like, knock it out of the park. I was like, I got it. That drove me to the slight edge. And how I even got to the slight edge is a funny thing. So Summit last year, can't wait to see y'all at Summit. Summit last year, I went to Melanie Mitro's training, and she said, you know, The Slight Edge was a book that really changed the game for her. Was sitting in my seat in the audience and ordered it on Amazon Prime right there. Send. Done. But sometimes when someone says something and it moves you, act on it immediately. Don't wait. You'll forget. Okay? There's too much happening in this world. You all know that. When it moves you, when a chord hits you, you're like, got it. Do it. Just act on it. Okay? Like, trust your gut. Trust your instincts. I do that a lot now. I was a person who didn't do that a lot before. I was always nervous. Like, oh, I really like that really cute sign. And then I would just keep walking. Now if I see that inspirational sign that I like, I just buy it. Because if I don't, it's just going to pass me by. And I'm going to forget about it, or I'll go back and it isn't there. When I see the opportunity in front of me now, I use that anxiety that used to keep me away from doing things because I was afraid to actually pounce on it. I use it in my favor, okay? I'm just an anxious person, so I just use it to my advantage now. It's cool. I'll probably live with it. It's fine. But I'm going to use it now to get to where I need to be. It's not my vice anymore, and I'm going to make it my strength, right? So if I see it and I want it, I'm taking it. It's just the way it is. With PD, that was the way. So I started like that. So that was it. So the first book was just kind of a bust. And then I realized, you know, tried one more time, connected, read The Slight Edge, read The Compound Effect, and those changed my life. So, sorry guys. That was how I started. That got me to 6-star Diamond Elite within those 9-10 months. It was an incredible ride. I get like choked up thinking about it. Things have changed. Things are different. And I was thinking about this, like, I hope everybody's like okay with this. God, I hope you're not over there, Keyshawn, like, oh God, where's she going? What's the truth? And I think I would do you all a disservice if I was like, so this is what I did. Thanks so much. Blah. That's like a government style brief when everyone's like, but it's not like that anymore. Like, why are we still saying the same thing when it doesn't actually? Okay. Yeah, things have changed, right? So I was thinking about this for you guys because I want to give you the best of what I got. And I've been changing things the way that I talk to my team. And I want to go through. And as I was looking back, I was like, what am I doing different now? You know, where am I making changes now? And I looked at them against that 5 list. I was like, oh my God, it's the same stuff, but it's evolved. It's evolved. So when I went to NLC this year, Carl was talking about like, pick your one word, right? Your one word that's going to drive you, describe you, motivate you, you know, light your fire throughout the year. For me, it was relentless, and it has changed into evolve. Okay. That's what it's taken. So the beginning of this year, I know everyone's like, oh, it was great. You know, like 9 months, everything went great for you. At the beginning of this year, 2 of my diamonds self-imploded and quit. Okay. Throughout the rest of it, probably in like September, October, the year before, another one of them quit. Okay. I could have so easily been like, this is over. I was like, nope, game on. I'm a wartime general. I love this stuff. Okay. I live for it. It lights my fire. Everyone's like, it got harder. I'm like, good. Let's go kill it. It's awesome. All right. So it got hard, right? Like this got hard. Can you imagine? You guys know how hard it is to help somebody build. You know how hard it is to get to diamond, have 3 of them walk away, have 2 of them self-implode with each other and walk away. That's hard. That is hard. Then it's your choice. You look in the mirror and you go, okay, what am I going to do about it, right? It's another one of probably the best, the best speeches I ever heard was the Kim Carver one. And find a way to get you guys the link where he talks about making the varsity team. And when he didn't, his dad just said, what are you going to do about it, Kim? I say that to myself like every day, right? So if like something's bad or sucks, like what are you going to do about it? What, you just expect it's going to shake out on its own? No, you know, pull up the pants, let's go. Like we got to fix it. It's up to us. And that's what I did. All right. So it was hard. It was really hard for a long time, but it just decided like, this is me. The buck stops here. From the beginning, when I created that team page, it was my team, my company, our lives, not just going to quit. Ever. Ever. The going got tough? Good. That means I'm going to get stronger. So what did I change? So here's where the evolution comes in. Number 1 is still be a product of the products. All right. So 18 months in, I was like, cool, I'm in shape. I was kind of bored. I was bored. So that enthusiasm that I had the first time I felt like I had oil in my backyard wasn't there anymore. When I talked to people, it wasn't the same as when I found and had my results on the 21-day fix. It had changed. So I looked at myself and said like, okay, so what are you going to do about it? That means you need to evolve more in your own health and fitness, Nikki. Nikki, me, not you, Nikki J. I love you. She's my upline. What am I going to do about it? And I was like, well, okay, game on. And I took my family. This was how, guys, I would say like hard times. That's how bad it was. I was like, John, we need to leave. I woke him up on a Saturday morning. I was like, we're going to the beach till Wednesday. Ready? And he was like, what? I was like, we're just going to the beach. I need to get away. I need to get away and think. And I took him and our kids and like through my phone and we went to the beach. And as we were there, my kids turned on the television and American Ninja Warrior came on, right? Which is cool. I remember watching American Gladiators when I was a kid and I was like, game on. I'm going to go train for that. I'm going to go push myself to do that. So just ignorant, got on Google and was like, how does someone get on American Ninja Warrior? I swear to God, that's what I typed. Found a gym and now I take private lessons and I'm training for it because it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's an evolution in my health and fitness. You know what else I did? I went and looked at Beachbody's programs and said, what's a challenge? And then I found the Ultimate Reset, a program I never thought I would do because who can go 21 days without cheating? That's insane. I'm on day 12, doing just fine. Haven't cheated once. I found something that fueled my fire. Wartime general, right? Like I love challenges. That's just me. So I found the biggest challenge and I decided to go after it. And what that did was it brought back that enthusiasm. I share everything about the Ultimate Reset now. I make videos every day. I make a confessional video. I go live every day at 8:20 p.m. I answer the same 5 questions plus a couple more that I get from people throughout the day, and I talk about it. I share the food. I do videos about the food prep, what I'm going to eat for the day. Whenever I decide I'm not going to eat what you suggest, you eat the swap-out meal instead, I talk about that because you cannot take the miso, but it is what it is, right? I found the thing that pushed my health and fitness one step further. What that did was it brought back the attraction. It was the same. I feel the same attraction now. I actually have 2 people that are interested in doing the reset now. And I'm only halfway through it, right? Just because I've been doing it, plus multiple other people I'm doing it. I actually use this guy as a platform for my like page. So to really push my like page out there, I'm posting it all over there. I'm going live all over there. I used it as evolution in my health and fitness and in my business. Find the program that challenges you. Not one that you can just do. We can all do 3 refresh. Find the program that challenges you. The thing that sets the fire in your belly. And do it. And share everything about it. Everything. You won't have any problem having 3 posts a day. You'll be talking so much, people want you to shut up. Seriously. So that's it. That's how it changed with the product of the products. I went back and found the new product that challenged me. And I went back and found the new thing that challenged my health and fitness that took me to the next level. Okay? It has to be evolution. Okay? If you feel stuck, it's because you are stuck. Unstick yourself. Okay? We have a ton of programs. Go find it. Doesn't matter if it's old. I have coaches that are going back to like Brazil butt lift because it makes them happy. It makes them happy, and that enthusiasm comes out when they start talking about it on social media. It's the enthusiasm. It's the love. It's the belief that hits people. It's not just the action. That's why the sweaty selfie with no love and no feeling behind it doesn't do anything. You have to find what brings you that love, right? Find the joy. You hear that all the time. Find it. Look, there's so much stuff out there. You can find it, okay? Number 2, posting 3 times a day. Yeah, totally. But I'm also posting not so much. Sharing things on my personal page, but that's not where my full attention is. It's at my like page because I need to expand into my cold market more. My upline said it in the beginning. Don't wait. I was stupid and didn't. I did. I was like, I'm cool. My hot market's good. I got ST32 this month. Fine. Start it now. Start it now. Even if you're talking to no one, great, cool. No one will see your trip. Start now. You got to expand. You have to. If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no baseline. You don't just stay stable. You either go up, forward, or back. So choose. Find the platform that you like. Don't go where everyone else is going just because they're there. If you don't like it, it's like the programs, right? If you don't like it, if it doesn't put that fire in your belly, that fire is not going to come across on whatever platform it is you're using. If everyone's on Facebook, but you love Instagram, use Instagram, right? If everyone's moving to Snapchat, but you're like, you know what, I totally want to get on, oh God, like Tumblr or wherever you want to be, go there. Where your joy is, go there. There's people there. There's a ton of people. There's still people on MySpace, guys. There's people everywhere. Go find it, right? And don't knock things till you try them, all right? I was the first one who was like, oh, Snapchat, God, what is it? And then I realized, I looked at myself, I was like, Nikki, you haven't even downloaded it yet. What are you doing, hater? Try, right? Try things first, all right? But find your love, find your joy, try it out, and then say, okay, this is it, right? This is it for me. So for me, it was Facebook, my personal page, then I moved to my like page, and I'm also on Instagram. My like page is really where it is right now. I like that a little bit more than Instagram just because I don't like how interaction plays out on Instagram. I like to interact with people, which is what kept me away from Snapchat because I was like, I don't understand how people interact. I like the interaction-based platforms. I know that about myself, right? So find what it is, that underlying thing, because now when that next social media platform comes out that has a great interaction apparatus, guess who's going to be there knocking on the front door the first day it comes out? This girl, because I know that's the type of platform that I like. Understand the platforms, and if you need something to help you understand what they are, read Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk, because he's going to tell you exactly what they are. And that book is actually only available in printed version because it's so visual. He actually shows you everything. So read, can't say that one enough, read that book. So that's how my posting has changed. It's not just that, confined zone of 500 friends. I was basically limiting my business to 500 people, right? Got to get out there, right? Start a blog. If you like to blog, if you're right to write, like YouTube, if you're good on video, if that's your thing, like find your weakness or find your strength and use it. All right. Number 4, challenge groups. Right. So still run my team page. That's all the same. Challenge groups, they've changed. So I normally would just, cycle people through and then move them into a veterans group. And what I found was that veterans group would go silent. All right. And then I'd have to go in and try and like rejuvenate it. And then what would happen is as I would bring in my next group of challengers, like they would have a lot of questions and they would be like, they would have to wait for me to get back to them. Okay. And it didn't like that. And I didn't like them not having experience around. So what I did is I went back and I messaged everyone who was in my veterans group and said, hey, I'm going to change how I do my challenge groups. And I would like for you to be a part of it. And here's how I'm going to do it now. And I invited them all into one group. And now that's where they stay. My new challengers come into that group. And they come in to a boatload of greetings. They come in to like 30 people saying, hey, welcome, I'm glad you're here, instead of a silent room. My veterans don't get lost anymore. They have a place that's constantly there. It's constantly growing and evolving. They have become their own team. They've watched each other. They've experienced births together. They've experienced the loss of life together. They're friends in this group. It wasn't just about cycle through and that's it. So my whole heart is always with my challengers because it's challengers previous, like past and present, they're in one place. I'll never separate them. That group is always there and I never take anyone out of it. And I tell people, hey, I'm not going to ever remove anyone from here, even if you aren't doing anything, because I know that sometimes one day you might feel inspired again. So if you want to leave, this is how you leave, right? And I'll give them the instructions. And if you want to stay, you stay. And if one day you decide you want to pick this up again, then we're here. You know where the group is. And no one ever left. They keep the option. They keep the option open, right? And they know that I recognize that they're still there and give them the option to come back. And the inspiration stays. Because then they watch everyone else who's going through it. And then maybe the challenger who needs to lose over 100 pounds comes in the next month and that inspires them. And then they decide to come back, right? I keep the light shining on them all the time. And the light being the positive energy of the challengers is constantly pushing at each other. One group. That's how my challenge groups have changed. And I post in there twice a day. And I go live in there a lot. I post in there in the morning, something that's like a morning participation post, either, share your favorite, Shakeology recipe, name one thing that you're proud of. Do I do a preseason still? No, I don't. I start with, here, grab your measurements and let's roll, because it kind of blurs together. So my preseason now, here's the thing. We usually did preseasons because someone needed it, right? They're either waiting for their kid to arrive or they were so new. So that preseason is me one-on-one with them. If that's a new challenger coming in and they need that extra, help to get in and get started, that's me one-on-one. I'm just not going to dump them into the group. I'm going to actually help them, build them to that point. A lot of times I was just me personally, I was just wasting time in preseason. I don't need to do it now. I'll just go ahead and go in, and everyone who's new and who's actually waiting on their kid, even if they're a couple of days in, I tell them still go ahead and participate. You can participate in any of these things because day one is just take measurements of every group, right? So they're fine, they're in. That's just the way I like to do it. And I like to do it 21 days. And then I like to give them the next 9 days off. All right. So you go 21 and then 9, and then we'll start again, right? And what I found is sometimes they'll go through and they'll be like different people will pick it up every month, and it's really cool because you actually see like their Shakeology orders go through. Like they'll know when the next group is going to start, and they'll be like, okay, fine, I'm gonna try it again next month, and they'll pick back up again, and they'll move into the next one. So it's just this constantly like churning pool. Do I run for groups? I'll get to that, Ariel. Sorry guys, I'm just seeing the chat now. God, okay. If you asked something before, like totally post it again because you definitely missed it. It's me, right? Yeah, so that's how I do it. And then in the evening, I ask people to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 5. How well did they do on their health and fitness that day? Okay, and I do that for 2 reasons. 1, because it holds them accountable. 2, it's definitely different when you go to cheat or think about cheating and you know you got to check in at the end of the day. People are very, very truthful when it comes to ratings. I very rarely see anyone say 5. People are actually really hard on themselves. It gives me the opportunity to be like, no, girl, you actually had a great day. But even better, they tell me exactly what they need. They'll be like, I killed my workout. I couldn't stay away from the donuts. Cool. I know exactly what you need now. I can go and talk to them personally one-on-one. Hey, I have a sweet tooth too. Let's help you with this. So every day, I basically they'll tell me so I can help them, right? Everything that I post is for a reason. It's so they get a better result at the end. So if you're not sure what to talk about in there, what would help them get a better result? Talk about that. What information could you know that could help you help them get a better result? Ask that question. All right. So that's what I do in there. Okay, everything is centered on that. What would help them better? I'll go live like the first day, first 2 days of the challenge group. I'll just say like, hey guys, I'm gonna go live at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. So if anyone has any questions about the meal plan or they need help, you can pop in here. I'll stay live for 10 minutes, unless there's a bunch of you guys on. Gives them the opportunity, right? Like now you can interact with me live, or you can message me anytime. Just make myself available to them. I found that because people need it a lot of people need it long term. Like for myself, I was cool with a couple rounds of 21-day fix. Doesn't work like that with everyone. So just dumping them into a different group or just I wasn't helping them. I could do more for them and I wanted to. So that's what I did. And then PD. Oh, that's my biggest evolution. So I used to read, and I'm a slow reader. I never got better at it. Recognize that? Wait, if you run it for 21 days, if someone starts mid-month, do you add them into it still? Yeah, you know what? I give them the option. I'm like, hey, the group right now is right here. If you want, you can hop in right now, or you can wait for the next group to start. Totally your call, but if they feel that fire in their belly and they want to go, let them go. Let them start. What works best for them? I don't make that decision. I'll give them the options and then let them choose. That's the way to do it. So I listen to personal development now. I'm an Audible girl. So last year, I think maybe I read five books. I listen to 5 a month now. 5 a month. And I would probably listen to more if I could. And here's the cool thing about it, guys. I don't spend any more time this year on personal development than I did last year. I figured out how to do personal development in the in-between times. Anytime I'm driving in my car, there's a personal development book going. Anytime I'm in the shower, personal development book going. Anytime I'm doing my makeup, personal development. Anytime I'm folding laundry, personal development. Anytime I'm picking up around the house, I have it piped into me in my earbuds on. Anytime it doesn't require thought from me, it's pumping into my head every single day because this business is too hard without it. You need it. You need to have that going into your head. You need to have someone telling you what you need to hear every single day to get you going through the hard times. Find it. So the coolest thing in Audible, the cool thing with Audible is you can listen to books on 2 times speed, right? So you can speed it up, right? So God bless if you try and listen to Gary Vaynerchuk on 2 times speed though. Impossible. There's some authors out there, woo, man, you just can't do it. You do this with the with the National Wake Up Call too, right? Because it's on a podcast, you can listen to it at like 1.25, 1.5, or 2 times as fast. I can take in a book at 2 times speed. I'll take in a book a day, right? If I'm really feeling a book, I'll just keep listening in the pockets throughout the day, and I'll take in a book a day. Like, you can do, God, you're capable of so much more than you think. Set the bar so much higher. Set it higher. Like, just do it. So I listen now, okay? I don't go back to books anymore. I just listen. And I listen to everything. And the books that really changed it for me, so the first one was the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. If you haven't listened to it, yeah, Annie, I see you. Yo, this book will change your life. You need to listen to it. And it put things in perspective. The basic premise of it is it will take 10 times the amount, on your second round, Emily, I listened to it twice too. It will take 10 times as much effort as you believe it's going to take to reach your goal. And you will be required to do 10 times more action than you think is required to reach your goal. So if you think you need to talk to one person every day, 10x it. You need to invite one person a day, 10x it. You got to listen to one book a month, 10x it. Everything. 10x everything. You know how much you love your kids? 10x it. How much you love your partner? 10x it. How much you love your friends? 10x it. And watch how your life changes. I'm not just talking about this business, I'm talking about life. Everything here relates to your life. Right? How much you love yourself? 10x it. How much you love your team? Everything. Okay? Read that. Or listen to it. Actually, listen to it. Don't read it. Because Grant Cardone reads it himself, and he actually says a lot more in the audible version than is written in the book, because he's like an inspired guy. He's passionate, so a lot more comes out. Yeah, his voice pumps you up. Yeah, it does. He's like, I think he's from like Texas. He has a southern accent, so he's just awesome. And language, right? It's there. So if you don't like bad language, you probably won't like Grant Cardone. But I definitely recommend the 10X Rule. And recently I listened to Ask Gary V by Gary Vaynerchuk. Oh my God, I'm on my 3rd round listening to him. I also want to give a shout out to the guys who had him at their event in Dallas recently, and then they shared the video of what he said to them. This guy just blew my mind. And yesterday I actually found a podcast of Grant Cardone interviewing Gary Vaynerchuk. It was like the world exploded. So there's so much out there. Those are the ones that you really gotta, I would really recommend that you listen to for anything, but it was for my personality type, right? I'm like emerald red personality. So that was what I liked. So when I had the diamonds leave, okay, which is a really difficult thing to deal with. I want to talk to you guys about how I dealt with this. So, everybody says, like, if it gets hard, like, dive into PD. I did, right? I dove into, like, 5 books a month, all right? And it wasn't getting any better. I was like, still in a funk, and thank God one of my amazing leaders on my team, I was just talking to her, and she's kind of become like my best friend over like this year and a half. She's been with me since the beginning. I was like, it's just still like really eating at me that I lost them. And she was like, well, what are you reading? So, I told her, I was like, I'm reading a lot about like Steve Jobs. I read Big Magic. I read Girl Boss. And she was like, you need to find a book on forgiveness and letting go. I was like, oh. Listen, whatever PD you're reading, make sure you're reading what you need, not just what everyone else is recommending. And I realize that I'm saying this just after I recommended 2 books. You got to find what you need, okay? If it's, I need something to light a fire again, then like go for like 10X Rule. But if you're hurt, right? If you're in a state of hurt, whatever's causing you pain, you need to identify that and then match it up. Match it up with the appropriate PD and get yourself out of it, all right? Because I read a lot on, like, how to run businesses and organize businesses and, Big Magic, right? A lot of, like, all kinds of stuff like that. But none of that addressed how hurt I was. So that pain just stayed with me for months until I finally, make myself like sit down, and it was kind of crazy actually. Like, this was it, how to forgive when you don't feel like it. I mean, and this was kind of crazy. This was how I found this book. See, here's a great example of what I was talking about earlier, and how when you see something, you just take it. I got in a car accident on May 6th. A deer ran out in front of our car. We got rear-ended. It totaled our car. And to take my mom the next day to like emergency care because her foot swelled up. So she broke a bone in her foot. We waited for like 4 hours to get her seen by a doctor. Finally got her prescriptions. We left. They said they'd call in the prescription. They called us on the drive home and said, you have to come back because this one's a controlled substance, so it needs to be a written script. Had to turn around, drive back, pick it up, took it to the first pharmacy. They didn't have it. All right. So we're like 8 hours into this excursion right now. And I was like, all right, fine. We're going to go to the other pharmacy up the street. All right. It's like 20 minutes up the street, but whatever. We're just going to go there. Oh, and they wouldn't tell us if the other pharmacy had it either because it was a controlled substance. And for some reason, that's a no-no. So now I'm just driving around aimlessly because no one can actually even tell me if they have the medication. And I was driving up the road and I was going to go to a CVS and I saw a Walgreens. And I was like, let's just stop in here because we're by it. Right? So maybe they'll have it. And I walked in and they were like, oh yeah, we have it. 10 minutes. Sat down in the waiting room, looked across it, and this is what I saw. That's the universe. That's big magic right there. I walked across the waiting room, grabbed it, and walked out with my mom's medicine. The signs are all like right in front of you. Just open your eyes. It's amazing how if you just kind of open your mind to it, just clear some space in here, everything comes to you, right? So, and I'm not like I'm a religious person, but I picked up like a prayer book too. It was right next to it. I was like, I got it. Message received, right? And then I just worked through it. And became better on the other end. So now I know, how to let it go, and I'm okay with it now. But man, every time you're in that state of pain and uneasiness, and just know that is the calm before the storm. It's that temporary instability that leads to growth. So welcome it when it comes in, because that means things are about to change. So I'm sorry, man.
My gosh. Nikki, you definitely brought your best today. Thank you so much. There were so many golden nuggets with that, y'all. This will definitely be, it was recorded. It will be posted in all of our pages, the Diamond 1-star page, the 2-star and above page, as well as in this event page. So make sure you share this. But you know what? I think that the coolest thing that Nikki mentioned was that she attributes her success to these things that aren't really different than what we hear. And I think that is so empowering. So don't be the same next year. It's all about the evolution of those same 4 basic vital behaviors. So evolve and make sure that the buck stops with you for your business. So it's Friday the 24th, 6 days till the end of the month, 33 days till summit. You guys can do this. You can do whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish this month. But like Nikki said, you got to act immediately. So let's do this, leaders. Thank you so much again, Nikki. You are the bomb.com. Let's go do this.